Hi, I'm Radona from boysandgirlshairstyles.com. Today we've had a request just to see how my hair is cut. This is Missy, and she is the one that cuts my hair. So today Missy's going to be explaining the haircut. I'm just going to have her trim it up. I do want it stacked a little bit more in the back because this is a little bit too full, a little bit heavy back through here. And then she's just going to texturize it a little bit. So I'll just turn it over to Missy and she can kind of explain what she's doing, why she cuts it.
Okay, like she said, we're just doing a trim. So the first thing we're going to do is just trim the length on the perimeter. So we're going to get that done. Her trim is just barely, so like a 1/4 inch. So just try and take that off. Sorry.
You're good.
We don't pull our earrings out. Make sure we don't have any more that hangs down. I always do mine in sections if you have a lot of hair, just to make sure it's all even and nice. Okay, and then just going to come over into the sides, make sure the sides blend in with the back. Trim those in a little bit. And then of course, when you're doing that too, after you do it, you want to check and make sure they're the same. Make sure you don't have one side longer than the other. Okay. Alright, and then through the top, we're going to go through here and layer it up a little bit. So just take a section and pull it up. We're just holding it up at a 90-degree angle off the head, just straight up, and then trim just a little bit off there. Sometimes she does like a little bit shorter in the crown, and I mean, not always, but if you do, then of course you're going to do your angle going back into the crown, so the crown's a little bit shorter. She kind of likes her bang a little bit longer sometimes. So go through and trim all that. And then of course check it to make sure it's even. And then once you have that length established, just take a little, come around the crown of the head and trim that in. Same thing, you're going to pull the hair out at a 90-degree angle from the head and just trim that in. Just following your guide from the crown, how much you want to take off. Okay, and then from there, just going to work on the sides using the same guide. Hold the sides up and just trim into those too.
So Missy, she does cut my hair and she is my neighbor. It's kind of weird. So it's fun.
It's nice.
We always need, if we run out of color or something, we always help each other out.
Yeah, it's nice to have someone to call if you have a question. What do you think of this, or what would you do this, good. Or how would you, if we ever run into something that's hard. Okay, and then when she does her bangs, of course you're going to leave those. She likes those a little bit longer, so we're not really going to trim a lot off of those, but I'll pull them down and then just point cut them. Just kind of go in and trim the little edges off. She doesn't really like them much shorter, just kind of clean them up so there's not any yucky ends on them and stuff, so they're all clean and they blend. So do the same thing on the other side. Okay, now moving on to the back. Like she said, she wants her back stacked back here. She said it's gotten heavy there, so we may be taking a little more off in there than we are on the rest of the hair. So we're just going to start just in the center of the back and take a section, pull it out. We're going to go out and move our fingers to about a 45-degree angle probably from the bottom of the head, pulling the hair straight out, and then trimming that down from that length to the length that you established at the bottom. And then same with this. I mean, same angle, and you can kind of follow your guide. Once you've cut that first section of hair, you can kind of see where you've cut it and just follow that. I do, as I move closer to the ear, pull the hair a little bit towards the center as I'm working, just so when the hair lays back down, it is short back here, but it just is gradually getting a little bit longer because the sides aren't going to be stacked, just the back is, just so it blends a little bit in there. It's not like super short and then super long. So I don't pull it all the way to the center, but I do, you can see I do pull it a little bit back and then cut that in. So, and same thing then moving on this side of the head. Just, you know, put your hand at the same angle from the nape of the neck and trim that off. And then once you get that trimmed in, of course you're just going to want to make sure all that blends, that you've blended, you know, that line coming up with this line coming over, so you don't have like a real sharp point coming out there. You want it to be kind of, excuse me, smooth. So you're just going to want to go through there and kind of blend that in, take that sharp corner off where you bring those two sections together. And then once, too, that you go through your whole entire, once you've done your whole haircut, of course you're going to want to go through and check it to make sure that it all blends. Make sure that everything is even. You know, you want to go through and cross-check coming up through the back and through the sides. And also, you know, it's always a good idea to pull the hair out and check it. Make sure you've got about the same length on both sides, so when you're styling it or when they're doing it, you don't have one side way longer than the other. And then I'm just going to take my texturizing shears to give her a little bit of texture. She likes volume up in here, so we're just going to go through the crown and do a little bit of texturizing. And what this does is it cuts a few shorter hairs in there, and that helps it to stand up when you're styling it. And also, if you want to back comb it a little bit to get it to stay better, then you can, this will help when you back comb it. That shorter hair will kind of, I guess, tease a little better, and then it stays up. So.
And when you have thin hair like me, you need it. A lot of people think if they have thin hair, they don't want...
Shouldn't thin it.
Yeah, you shouldn't thin it because they think it's already thin and they don't want to lose any more hair. But I always talk my clients into doing it, and there's a lot that love it after because it really helps give the volume, especially with, you know, us people that don't have as much hair.
Right. And when we say, when she says thinning, I am using thinning shears, but we're not actually thinning the hair, so that, I mean, don't go in and like start cutting a lot to get, because you will remove a lot of bulk that way. Excuse me, I'm just taking a section and going in and just cutting a couple little spots, just a little bit. So we're just kind of going in and picking a few little spots and just not even really cutting all the way. We're just barely, you know, getting a little bit in there. And that just gives it a little bit of volume And that way you're not removing too much of the bulk of the hair, so there's still enough there to style. So, what do you think, Radona? Anything else we need to add?
Sounds good. She did great. If you have any questions, let us know.